Hello. Just bringing in the other crew. And welcome. Welcome to Monday Motivation, where we take a look at some of the energy drains and turn them into energy gains. But this is a week 2 of New Year, New You 2022. So we're going to take this right into the new year, which is about, I guess now 7 Mondays away. So we talked last week about becoming aware of who you are in your waking hours. So who are you showing up as? Who are you being? And we had a little challenge put out there, and I'd love to know how it went. Who are you? Who are you being in those waking hours? And now to settle into that, because that's very, very important, because there's going to be components of that that are keeping you in sort of a survival chest breath area. Because it's said that we're living 70% of our time in a chest breath. So that means that we're activating the sympathetic nervous system, which is our fight, flight, freeze. So when we take a look at just living our programmed life, and that has a 70% bias, and we tap into that, and we have scientific data that's showing us that 50% of what we speak isn't our complete truths. We've got a lot of information to work with, and taking a look at how you want to shift that up for 2022. And support is important. And even these little Mondays are important, because it's information that we can start to integrate and challenge ourselves to pay attention to. Because it's this thought area, this brain wave area, that we want to start tapping into the frequency that we are programmed to stay in. And we want to elevate that, because what we vibrate at, we attract more of, good or bad. You know, like that magnet that I showed you. It can only stick because it has a matching frequency. If you took it to aluminum or something, that magnet, it wouldn't be able to stick. That's how you can tell if your car is aluminum or you know, not steel or aluminum, or your appliances are aluminum. You can see if a magnet will stick to them. So let's see what this magnet is having stick to it. That could be a little creepy, but that's the point of it all. We want to elevate this to allow all the other stuff that vibrates at that stickiness to drop away just naturally. That's the ease and the grace of your energy. So I thought we'd take a few minutes today and sit with just our own awareness and tapping into our awareness just as we're sitting here. And it can be as simple as feeling the temperature of the air on your face, on your skin, or taking your socks off and feeling the coolness. If you're in the Pacific Northwest or the West Coast, feel the coolness on the bottoms of your feet. And you might, if you're working from home, you might want to keep your socks off all day long and see that, allow that coolness to be a regular reminder of coming into what are you thinking in the moment? Where are you might be sabotaging yourself in the moment? Where you might be defeating yourself in the moment and getting stuff done? Where procrastination might be showing up? Where frustration might be showing up? And taking in some of the steps, the 3 principles of BlissBE method, is your breath, your grounding, centering, and aligning, and your regulating of your nervous system. These 3 components are critical to your success in your every single day. Your every single day, your every single moment. If you're having frustration, then your anxiety, you're coming up, you've got 1 step foot on the ladder, you're coming up away from the earth because you're frustrated. Or if you're going into fear, you're 1 step off the ladder. If you're going up into anxiety, you're like 3 steps up into being off of the earth and into the mid rungs of the ladder. We need to step back down the ladder. And how do we do that? We start by engaging our breath. Because if we're breathing here, we want to be breathing here into our lower abdomen. We want to practice bringing our lower abdomen breath down into the belly and allowing the belly to expand out. We don't want to start setting the new you for 2022 without some clarity. This breath allows you to come down off the ladder. It allows you to, once again, feel your feet on the floor and come and breathe down to that belly breath, where we work with the diaphragm. It's the biggest muscle that we have, and it sits right underneath our ribs. When we breathe in, it comes up, and when we breathe out, it expands out, and it massages. We've got our this is going to seem reversed. On the left-hand side, we've got our spleen. On our right-hand side, we've got our liver. In the center, we've got our pancreas. We've got then below it, the stomach and the intestines, and we've got our kidneys in the back. We've got all our organs even further down. It allows for that to massage the organs, and it gets that air expansion into that lower region, as opposed to being contracted and stuffed up in the top of the chest. Does it make sense? Because I think that if it makes sense and we can see it, feel it, taste it, smell it, hear it, if you can, then we can really, really work with it. And we can talk to our diaphragm, as silly as it might sound, as it breathes in. And we can just say, freedom to expand. Oh, yes, to the outside of here is where we want it to go. We want to be able to feel that expansion on our side ribs. Now, don't expect it to happen overnight, because sometimes it doesn't. If you're not used to it, then it will take some time. But when I sit down to read, or if I sit down to read an article, if I sit down to work on the computer, even now, if I feel that I'm feeling anxious to be working with tech and getting in the back end of my website or something, or work with the podcasts, or work with the Premier Line videos that are going on right now on YouTube, I sit down, I put my hand on my belly, I feel my feet on the floor, and I engage it. And I feel it in my back body when I breathe. I feel it in my side body. I get little rumbles in my tummy. That's the moving energy saying thank you for coming down here and moving some energy. And I just take a moment here before I start a new project or before I start a new something to engage it. Every time you start something new today, tap into your breath. Even if you're upstairs making, or upstairs, even if you're making a cup of coffee, or a cup of tea, that's where mine is, it's upstairs. So, it's just a matter of you finding out where you can fit it in so that you can create this new habit of breathing. And at the same time in the day, as now you start to incorporate this into your day this week, I want you to carry forward last week's information. So if you didn't see it, go back and watch it, please, and bring forward that awareness and see how much easier it starts to shift to changing who you are in each moment of your day and who you want to be. And now when we start getting into the lower breath, we can start to engage more writing what reaction do we want? If we're dealing with something that's high stress or a high communication that we need to have, write it down first. I'm having a high communication. This is the outcome that I want. This is how I would like to show up in this in a calm way with grace. And this is the outcome that I want. And I'm going to start with, instead of saying you, I'm going to start with saying I. No, I have something I want to talk to you about. Is it a good time? Or I have, a really high payoff communication for me that's making me nervous. Can we make some time for this? Or just can we make some time to talk today? Whatever it is that or you want to go in and ask for a raise, or you want to go in and ask for a couple days off because you want to really take some time to step into yourself and take some time to find a place of peace and calm and offline the body, power down instead of power up. When we feel like we need energy, sometimes we want to power up, but it's equally as important to power down. Especially if you're an introverted person, it's very important to power down. And to all you extroverts out there, as I am on that cusp, is that it is also equally important for extroverts to power down. Because in the moment, we're being forced to be introverts in so many levels. And for introverts, we're also being forced to be extroverts on so many levels because we've been put on guard for, keeping rules and policies and procedures in place that aren't comfortable. So take a moment to feel your feet on the floor. And then we'll take 2 minutes here. And if it feels right for you, feels comfortable for you, close your eyes. And take a breath down into your lower abdomen by putting your hand there and seeing if you can get your hand just to bellow out a little bit. And on your exhale, just have a natural falling back of the lower abdomen. And just look back at the week when you took that initial step of becoming aware of who you're being. And that opportunity to shine that light on your unconscious and automatic thoughts, your automatic behaviors, and your automatic feelings. In order to change the old way that we are and experience and create a new way of who we are, we must become conscious and get to the point where almost nothing slips out of our awareness and goes unnoticed. Without criticizing or judging or placing blame, make a game of it, make it fun, and notice everything about yourself. Pretend like you're a curious bystander. And just notice from last week where you became aware of within your waking day of who you were being. Notice what triggers caused you to default back to your old self or some of those self-defeating thoughts and emotions. Now, as we move into week 2 and you're stepping back into that regained awareness, decide what aspects of yourself no longer serve you. What aspects of you no longer serve you? And how you want to go about being that person that lets go of all that no longer serves you. And how you might take steps to stop being that person that no longer wants to embody, that you no longer want to embody. And that can be as simple as saying, that's not me. I'm not that person. I don't want to be that person ever again. I want to move away from that person. And I'm choosing this now, here, today. I'm trying this sweater on today. And it feels good. It's soft. It's cozy. It's warm. It's expansion. Find the new words that you want to incorporate into your life. They might even sound weird. When I first started saying, I want to invite grace into my world, it was weird. I had to go and check out on the thesaurus, what grace meant. And if there was anything else that felt better, go into the thesaurus on thesaurus.com and Google some or check out some words that you want to try on. And allow yourself to unplug from those unconscious programmings that have been running your life. And to do that, we need to slow ourselves down and move out of that survival breath up in your chest and engage and embody the lower diaphragmatic breathing in your lower abdomen. Bringing that breath down into your lower abdomen is a signal to your nervous system that you are safe. And when you are safe to create. You're safe to take in and process the new information that you're giving your mind, your thoughts. And where your thoughts go, energy flows. And we move from out of the predictable past that Joe Dispenza speaks of so often, that predictable past, and into your present, the present moment, which offers you the mystery and the magic of the unknown. And when you step into the unknown and you put that new you into the unknown, magic can happen. So there's your week 2 challenge to bring in today, and the rest of the week, is to step into that new way of breathing, that lower dynamic breath into your lower abdomen, allowing that diaphragm, feel that muscle, the largest muscle in your body. Let's exercise and bring to life that lower diaphragm muscle. And breathe down into the major energy centers in the lower dynamic energy centers in the lower part of that region of your body. Do that, feeling your feet on the floor and your buttocks in your seat, wherever you might be sitting. And access that parasympathetic nervous system. Show the body that it's safe and that you are taking action. Let your soul know that you are taking action. Your soul loves action. And this is the action that you're taking. And ask for help. Ask for guidance into the new you of who you want to be. And if you need some help, reach out. My name's Deborah O'Neill. I'm the CEO and founder of BlissBE.Me, Integrative Holistic Health. And I'm here to support you with one-on-one treatments, both in person and distance. And I have a host of information that's available to you. Right now, we have a podcast that we just uploaded last week. We started. It drops every Wednesday and Saturday. It is the beginning of 111 episode of Unlocking the Mystery of Your Energy Body. And it can be found on BlissBE.com. It can also be found on Apple and Spotify under their podcast that's available. And it is appropriately named BlissBE.Mind+Energy. BlissBE.Me, Mind and Energy. And that is the name of the podcast. So feel free to look that up. It's also simultaneously, if you'd prefer to watch it, being uploaded onto YouTube every Wednesday and Saturday. YouTube's channel is BlissBE.Me, BEME with no period, no dot. Thank you for being here. Reach out to me, DM me, send me a message at info@blissbe.me if you want to send me an email. I would love to support you. Thank you for being here. We'll see you next Monday. Make it a great day. Oh, I almost forgot to pull a card. What do I have handy? Okay, let me think for a second. And invite and embody new year, new you 2022. Thank you. I love you. Bye for now.